Hello, this is Dave Dietrichs, and this is my submission for a week 2 assignment for FTH 223. For this week, we were asked to identify one hammer-fired semi-automatic handgun that we'd like to learn more about. So for that, I have actually chosen the Heckler & Koch P320. I actually found an exploded parts diagram, and to go over 3 failures on this firearm. So the first one being failure to lock, the second one being failure to unlock, and the third one being failure to feed. So there's actually, it's a little vague. So there's 2 things I think of when locking. It's either the slide locking back or it not locking in the battery. So I'll explain both because I'm not sure which one's wanted here. So here, looking at the parts diagram, so we have obviously our barrel assembly. So if we're talking about not locking in the battery, there's multiple things here that can go wrong that wouldn't allow that to happen. We have the wrong ammunition used, or damage to the rim of the ammunition right in here. And when the slide tries to go forward, that doesn't allow it to lock in the battery. We could also have an issue with the recoil spring here. It could be damaged. Something could be wrong. It could be someone put the wrong size spring in, also not allowing to lock in the battery. We could have an issue with our chamber clearance. So head spacing has, something's happened where it's gone bad and now it can't lock in the battery. Or if we're meaning the slide locking back, that would be down here in our locking assembly. So we could go wrong there. Spring could be damaged. This itself could be hard to do, but you could install it wrong where it doesn't function right. Actually, this right here could be broken off, the catch. Some damage to it where it doesn't catch up on the slide notch up in here that allows it to lock back. So that's my explanation for locking. So it'd be either this sub-assembly if we're talking about the slide not locking back, or it'd be up in the barrel, recoil spring, and slide assemblies if we're talking about not locking the battery. Now next, moving on, talking about unlocking. So with unlocking, once again, I'm not sure which one is vague. So are we talking about the slide not unlocking? So let's say last round's fired and the slide gets stuck back and locks, but then decides that, it, for whatever reason, cannot be unlocked. Or do we mean when a round is fired that it's not locking out a battery and allowing the round to eject? So we'll go back to our part. So if we're talking about the slide locking back and then not being able to unlock, once again, that's going to be in this assembly here. So this is your, it's not going to give me the part ID, that's fine, but this is your slide lock assembly or sub-assembly. Once again, something could be going wrong, the spring could be binded up, some damage could have happened to this here, because this is really the only thing that holds that slide back. There's also, there's actually one other thing I can think of that could cause this. Let me see if I can't find it here in the assemblies. Should be a extractor. I don't think this is it. It might actually be part of the grip assembly, but the extractor could be damaged as well. Pretty sure that's what you call that, where that's what hits when the last round goes through the mag and forces the slide to lock back. So we're talking about that. It's not unlocking. It could also be in that assembly there. Could be the magazine, something wrong with it, sitting too proud or too high up in the mag well, which how you even got that in there. I guess you could have forced it. So that would be unlocking. So finally, failure to feed. So failure to feed typically, we'll go back to the parts diagram once again. So failure to feed, this could be a magazine issue. Our spring here could be binded up. Yeah, so it could be that. The spring follower in a mag, or the top there where the ammunition, that could have a malfunction or damage. So a bad faulty magazine can cause a failure to feed. Now we go up to our feed ramp here, and if this is damaged or if it's really dirty, has any type of defects, this can cause a failure to feed. What else could? Could be, honestly, recoil spring could be once again the culprit in this. If our recoil spring is damaged in any way, it might interrupt the cycle of operations, and that could cause a failure to feed as well. So those are a number of different issues that could arise. So it could be feed ramp, magazine, recoil spring. Could be the ammunition itself, using improper ammunition, like a reload that wasn't remanufactured properly. So there's those. So now to go on and evaluate my understanding. So this wasn't necessarily superficial. This more comes from I've already completed the associate's program for Sonoran Desert Institute. So some of this knowledge just comes from going through those classes, like troubleshooting was an actual class going over troubleshooting the different malfunctions of firearms. So some of that knowledge came from that, and just from handling firearms over the years, you kind of start to understand how those sub-assemblies work together, and you kind of deduce what's going on when you have issues like that. So for part 3, what I can do in the future to get a deeper understanding, just continue to study about these firearms, go on forums, watch videos, look at exploded parts diagrams, and just overall try to get my hands on them as well, because I'm a hands-on learner. So just looking at all the assemblies, honestly, would help out. Yeah, that's about all I can think on that. So then, with that being said, this concludes my submission for week 2 for FTH 223. Thank you for watching.